and welcome to the Webcast for Thursday, July 31st. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. The marine layer is a little deeper over central California this morning and is similar to yesterday over southern California. Low clouds and fog will steadily burn off this morning. Otherwise, we have sunny skies to start the day across the region, with none of the shower and thunderstorm activity across the Sierra that we were seeing this time yesterday. Speaking of, here's yesterday's lightning map with over 300 strikes recorded in our region. The lightning came in two distinct rounds. The big cluster over western parts of the Stanislaus National Forest came mostly in the pre-dawn hours yesterday morning, while everything further east along the Sierra Crest and the eastern Sierra came yesterday afternoon. It's possible there could be a lingering holdover or two out there, but from here out we are going to be done with lightning for at least several days. What we'll have instead is a quiet and seasonable pattern shaping up. California will be primarily in between Pacific troughing influences to our northwest and a fairly strong ridge over the desert southwest. While these features will fluctuate a little bit in strength over the next several days, the end result is going to be not a whole lot of change in our weather through at least early to mid next week. Here's a look at today's forecast highs, which are mostly very close to normal for this time of year. The next several days will see highs mainly in the 90s in the valleys, mid-90s to 105 in the high desert, 105 to 115 in the low desert, and mid-70s to mid-80s in the lower mountains. There'll generally be some gradual warming through Sunday, then some cooling early next week, but most areas will be within 3 to 5 degrees either side of these numbers, at least through early next week. A shallow but persistent marine layer will remain in place through the weekend, and it'll likely deepen some early next week as the troughing influence becomes more pronounced. We will continue to see dry conditions as well. The troughing influences in this pattern are continuing to prevent the traditional Four Corners high pressure area from developing, and that means the monsoon will continue to falter. So we won't have any lightning to worry about, at least for the next several days, but the warmer temperatures and lack of moisture will start to increase our background fire danger. Minimum humidity will be mainly between 12 and 25% above and inland from the marine layer influence through the middle of next week, and it'll generally favor the lower end of that range, along with widespread single digits and low teen humidities across the deserts and higher mountain locations of Southern California. Winds will be pretty typical the next several days with a steady onshore flow pattern in place. There will be some breeziness in the afternoons and evenings, especially across the wind-prone ridges and desert passes, but overall local and terrain wind effects will be dominant. One thing to watch is that there could be some enhanced northwest to north winds from Santa Barbara County to the I-5 corridor on Sunday afternoon and overnight, but that does not look like a major event. Finally, we'll take a quick look at the longer range forecast, and the main item to hit there is that we do have pretty good indications of a warming trend by the second half of next week. In fact, some models are showing the hottest temperatures of the summer so far in many areas as high pressure strengthens and moves closer to California. So we'll keep an eye on that. We have seen this projected by the models and end up not happening several times this summer, but if I had to give a gut feeling assessment, it would be that we can probably expect some pretty hot weather by late next week. Dead fuel moistures will gradually decrease over the next several days. 1 and 10-hour fuels will already be highly receptive during the daytime burn periods, but more recovery time is needed in some areas for heavier fuels to become more receptive after the cool and humid conditions we've seen lately. Meanwhile, live fuel moistures continue to steadily drop and are mostly near to a little below normal for this time of year. In terms of fire potential, the main story will be the gradual trend back towards more seasonable conditions. The recent long stretch of unseasonably cool and humid weather has brought well below normal fire danger for much of July, and in some cases it's still going to take some time to recover from that, especially in heavier fuels. And given the lack of lightning or any extreme heat through the middle of next week, it's still not looking like an overly problematic pattern by any means. But a large fire will be a lot more possible than what we've seen lately on any day, particularly on well-aligned starts and especially by this weekend with more drying. And initial attack activity, which has been unusually light of late, will likely trend towards moderate levels over the next several days with the warmer weather. And if we do get into a bigger heat event by late next week, that could become a period to watch for a more significant increase in fire potential. But in the meantime, that's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Friday, August 1st.